Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Berman. I'm the Township Manager here in Haverford Township, and this is the annual reorganization meeting for the Board of Commissioners for the year 2023. First item on the agenda is calling the roll. Commissioner Gondek.
Present.
Commissioner Forstey-Grupp.
Here.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Here.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Here.
Commissioner Cavender.
Here.
Commissioner Holmes.
Here.
Commissioner Quinn.
Here.
Commissioner Hart.
Here.
Commissioner Wexler.
Here.
And now I'd like to ask Chief Viola to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
Don't call this. Yeah, I'm 10 days into it.
We'll move right into the order of business. The next item is opening the nominations for president for calendar year 2023.
Mr. Berman, I'd like to nominate Lawrence Holmes, President of the Board of Commissioners.
Second.
I move to close.
All in favor of closing the nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so I will call the roll for Commissioner Holmes to serve as president for the year 2023. Commissioner Gondek.
Yes.
Commissioner Forstey-Grupp.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Commissioner Holmes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Commissioner Holmes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Commissioner Holmes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Commissioner Quinn.
I know this is a big shock, but yes to Holmes.
Commissioner Hart.
Commissioner Holmes.
Commissioner Wexler.
Yes to Mr. Holmes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you all. It was my privilege to serve last year. It's my privilege to serve again. I will now accept nominations for the position of Vice President of the Board of Commissioners for the year 2023.
Mr. President, I would like to nominate Judy Trombetta to serve as Vice President of the Board of Commissioners.
We have a nomination. Do we have a second?
Go ahead and second.
Second from Commissioner Wexler.
I move to close.
All in favor? I'm sorry, do we have a second? All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, before us is for Vice President of the Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Trombetta. Would you please call the roll, Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondek.
Judy Trombetta.
Commissioner Forstey-Grupp.
Judy Trombetta.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Commissioner Cavender.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Commissioner Wexler.
Yes to Mr. Trombetta.
Commissioner Holmes.
Vice President Trombetta.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, stay down here, so.
Wing of the building.
Three until the hungry. We're not gonna have you.
I'm not going to be able to plug in because I had to switch the video.
That's fine.
So I'm going to be unplugged for the rest of the meeting.
Got it. Thank you.
A good battery, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just take a moment while our commissioners reorient. Before we move on in the agenda, let me just make two announcements. First is that throughout the month of December, the Board of Commissioners met in executive session to conduct and deliberate to conduct interviews and deliberate nominations and appointments for various boards. Those meetings took place, I believe, on the 7th, the 8th, the 15th, the 28th, and just yesterday, January 2nd. And also one more announcement, all appointments that happened tonight will be listed on the township website this week, hopefully by tomorrow. Next on our agenda is an appointment for township solicitor.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint John Walco, Esquire, to serve as Township Solicitor for a one-year term to expire December 31st, 2023.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any other motions for township solicitor?
I move we close.
Second.
I have a motion to close nominations. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, before us now is a motion to appoint John Walco as Township Solicitor for a one-year term to expire December 31st, 2023. Mr. Berman, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes, John Walco.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
John Walco.
Commissioner Trombetta.
John Wall.
Everyone out of order there. Commissioner Cavender.
John Walco.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Mr. Walco.
Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Walco.
Commissioner Holmes.
John Walco. And I will invite John's colleague, Haley Melchior, to come up to the to our seat. Haley is a lawyer in John's office. Due to the nature of our meeting being on Tuesday this year, instead of our usual first and second Monday of each month, Mr. Walco was unavoidably detained tonight at another meeting, and we look forward to seeing him next week. In the meanwhile, welcome back, Ms. Melchior. The next administrative appointment for us to consider is a motion to confirm the township manager's appointment. So Mr. Township Manager, do you have a recommendation to us?
I recommend that the township appoint Pannoni as the township engineer.
I need a motion.
I'll make a
from-
motion to confirm Pannoni Associates as the township engineer
Second.
to expire December 31st, 2023.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Berman, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes, Tony.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Benoni?
Commissioner McCluskey.
Benoni.
Commissioner Cavender.
Benoni.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Benoni.
Commissioner Wexler.
Pannoni Associates.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Pannoni and Associates.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes to the Township Manager's appointment of Pannoni and Associates. Pannoni? We look forward to another year of hard work. Thank you. We now move to the appointments of boards and commissions. I need a motion to adopt Resolution 2292 of 2023.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
I would move to adopt resolution number 2292-2023, appointing the following boards and commissions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Berman, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. Our first appointment tonight is, this is a ward-by-ward appointment for the Environmental Advisory Council. This is a two-year term. So this term will end on December 31st, 2024. So we will start with the first ward.
I nominate Noel Smith, or appoint Noel Smith.
Ms. Forresty Grubb, Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Appointing Joy Baxter.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Appointing Amanda Camacho.
Commissioner Cavender,
Appointing Victor Barsky.
Oh, wait, I got that wrong, sorry. Okay, we're going to do these in order. Commissioner Trombetta.
Appointing Melissa Romano.
The Sixth Ward is going to hold his appointment for 1 week and announce it next Monday. Commissioner Quinn.
I'd like to reappoint or Henry Ike or Eichmann. Well, Henry Eichmann works the second time I say it.
Thank you, Commissioner Quinn. Commissioner Hart
Reappoint Peter Pugliese.
and Commissioner Wexler.
I reappoint Mr. Hank Schwab.
Thank you all. Next before us are three separate appointments for Friend of the Grange. These will be 2-year terms that expire on December 31st, 2024.
Correction, that's a typo on the agenda, Mr. Holmes. It's a 1-year.
These are 1-year terms. Okay, so every one of them. So these will expire on December 31st, 2023. Thank you, Mr. Berman.
I would like to move to appoint or to reappoint Joe Rastetter to serve on the Friends of the Grange for a 1-year. We didn't change it yet, I don't think.
I thought we did.
I thought we did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we changed these to 2-year terms.
I don't recall doing that for the Friends of the Grange. I know we did it for the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee.
Okay. then-
I think we're going to work
My
on that. I'm
mistake,
going to,
my mistake, I'm sorry.
yeah, Scott, and I'm going to meet with Scott and the Grange Board to discuss that more, so. But I would like to appoint Joe Rastetter to serve on the Friends of the Grange for a 1-year term to expire on December 31st, or 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for this position. Any other nominations for this first position on the Grange?
Motion to close?
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So before us now is Commissioner Quinn's appointment of,
Joe Rastetter.
Joe Rastetter as Friends of the Grange. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondek.
Yes, Joe Rastetter.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Joe Rastetter.
Commissioner Trombetta.
It's okay.
I'll come back to that one. Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Joe Rastetter.
Commissioner Hart.
Mr. Rastetter?
Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Rastetter.
Commissioner Trombetta. Commissioner Holmes.
Yes, Mr. Rastetter. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Rochelle Nocito to serve on the Friends of the Grange for
Second.
one-year term to expire on December 31st, 2023.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this second position?
Mr. President, motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, before us is the appointment of Rochelle Nocito to serve on the Friends of the Grange. So, Mr. Berman, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Gondek.
Rochelle Nocito.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Rochelle Nocito.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Ms. Nocito.
Commissioner Cavender.
Rochelle Nocito.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Nocito?
Commissioner Wexler.
Ms. Nocito.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Rochelle Nocito.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. We have one more motion to appoint a position on the Friends of the Grange for a 1-year term.
Mr. President, I'd like to reappoint Scott Solkowitz to serve on the Friends of the Grange for a 1-year term to expire December 31st, 2023.
Second.
Do we have any, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other appointments for this?
Motion to
third position?
close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Berman, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Gondek.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Mr. Selkowitz?
Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Solkowitz.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Sokol.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. Next for consideration is the Health Advisory Board. This is a 5-year term. This term will expire on December 31st, 2027. We have 2 appointments. I will accept a nomination.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Kirsten Hickerson to serve on the Health Advisory Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for this first position. Any other nominations?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. We have another position on the Health Advisory Board, a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027. I'll accept a nomination.
I'll put it up there. Mr. President, motion to appoint Joe Bernstein to serve on the Health Advisory Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I should have asked this before. Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman, you call the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Dr. Bernstein.
Commissioner Wexler.
Yes to Dr. Bernstein.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Dr. Bernstein.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. We move to the Historical Commission. We have 2 positions on the Historical Commission for a 4-year term. Both are set to expire on December 31st, 2026. Yes.
Mr. President, a motion to reappoint Matthew Roy to serve on the Historical Commission for a 4-year term to expire on December 31st, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations for this first position on the Historical Commission?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes to the reappointment.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Roy.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Roy.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Roy. We have another appointment on the Historical Commission for a 4-year term to expire on December 31st, 2026. I will entertain a nomination.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I would like to move to appoint Mr. Mark Hoffman to serve on the Historical Commission for a 4-year term to expire on December 31st, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Mr. Hoffman.
Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Hoffman.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Hoffman.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Hoffman? We now move to the Human Relations Commission. This is a 3-year term.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Carolyn Hatcher to serve on the Human Relations Commission for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Carolyn Hatcher.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes to Carolyn
Commissioner-
Hatcher.
Thank you. Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Hatcher.
Commissioner Wexler.
Ms. Hatcher.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Ms. Hatcher.
Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Hatcher? We have another appointment to the Human Relations Commission for a 3-year term.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Melissa Chargel to serve on the Human Relations Commission for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Ms. Sargel?
Commissioner Cavender.
Ms. Chargel?
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Chardell.
Commissioner Wexler.
Ms. Chardell.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Ms. Chargel.
Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Chargel. We now move to the Ice Rink Advisory Board.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Kate Stickle to serve on the Ice Rink Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes to Kate Stickle.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Ms. Stickle?
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes, Ms. Stickle.
Commissioner Holmes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Stickle.
Commissioner Wexler.
Ms. Stickle.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Ms. Stickle.
Commissioner Holmes.
We almost gave away the ending. Ms. Stickle. All right. Our next appointment, another appointment for the Ice Rink Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Mr. President, motion to reappoint Rob Cohen to serve on the Ice Rink Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire on December 31st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Mr. Cohen?
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Cohen.
Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Cohen.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Cohen.
Commissioner Holmes.
Robert Cohen. We have another appointment for the Ice Rink Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Scott Lindelof to serve on the Ice Rink Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close nominations and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart. Commissioner Wexler.
Mr. Lindblom.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Lindell.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Lindelof. Finally, we have an unexpired term, a 3-year term that will expire. It's a 2-year term that will expire December 31st, 2024. This is our last appointment to the Ice Rink Advisory Board.
Yes, I'd like to appoint Mike Lutz to fill the unexpired 3-year term to expire on December 31st or 2024.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other nominations to fill this unexpired term?
Motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close in a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes to Mike Lutz.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Mr. Lutz?
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Mr.
Commissioner
Lutz.
Wexler.
Mr. Lutz.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Lutz.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Lutz. Next on our agenda is one of the Board of Commissioners appointments to the Library Board of Trustees. This is a 3-year term. It will expire on December 31st, 2026. I will just remind the public, the library is an independent body, completely independent of the Board of Commissioners, but the Board of Commissioners is empowered to appoint certain people to their board, a certain number of people to the board, and the Library Association is has appointments for the other. So this is one of the township appointments to the Library Board of Trustee. It's the only one that's up this year. It's a 3-year term. It will expire December the 31st, 2026.
Mr. President, that should be 2025, I believe.
3-year terms. You are right. My apologies. 23, 24, 25. Yes, December 31st, 2025. With that correction, I will accept nominations.
Mr. President,
Yes,
I
Commissioner.
would like to move to appoint Emily Woodward to serve on the Library Board of Trustees for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations?
Mr.
for the Library
President,
Board of Trustees?
I'd like
Yes.
to make a motion to appoint Deirdre Cryer to serve on the Library Board of Trustees for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Was that a second?
Yes.
I have a motion and a second for Deirdre Cryer, a motion and a second, a nomination and a second for Emily Woodward. Are there any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close?
Second.
We have a motion to close nominations and a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman, the question before us is Ms. Woodward or Ms. Cryer?
Commissioner Gondik.
Deidre Cryer.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Ms. Woodward.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Deirdre Cryer.
Commissioner Cavender.
Deirdre Cryer.
Commissioner Quinn.
Ms. Woodward?
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Woodward.
Commissioner Wexler.
Ms. Cryer.
Commissioner Holmes.
Wait for me.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Trombetta. I'm all over the page here. Sorry about that.
Ms. Cryer.
Got that. Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Cryer. And I believe the appointment is for Ms. Cryer.
That is correct.
Okay, before us next is Parks and Recreation Board. This is a 5-year term. Our first motion is to serve for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
President, make a motion, reappoint Michelle Alvarez to serve on the Parks and Recreation Board for a 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this first position?
Motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Ms. Alvarez.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Alvery.
Commissioner Wexler.
Michelle Alvarez.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Ms. Alvarez.
Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Alvery? We have another position on the Park and Recreation Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027. I will accept a nomination.
I move to appoint Steve Lachlan to serve on the Parks and Recreation Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, or 2027.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
Second.
I have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Steve Laughlin.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Mr. Laughlin.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Laughlin? Okay, we have another position on the Parks and Recreation Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Mr. President, motion to appoint Mark Merdinger to serve on the Parks and Recreation Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other nominations?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Sebastian Gracier to serve on the Parks and Recreation Board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Mr. Merdinger and Mr. Gressier. Do we have any other nominations for this position? Someone like to close nominations?
Motion to close.
So moved. Anyone care to second?
So moved. Second.
All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? Mr. Berman, the choice is Mr. Gressier or Mr. Merdinger.
Commissioner Gondik.
Gressier. That's Sebastian, correct?
That's correct.
Sebastian. Gressier.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Sebastian Gracier.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Mr. Merdinger.
Commissioner Cavender,
Sebastian Gracier.
Commissioner Quinn,
Mark Murdinger.
Commissioner Hart,
Mr. Merdinger.
Commissioner Wexler,
Merdinger.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Mr. Gracier.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Gracier. And the position goes to Sebastian Gracier. We have one more position to fill an unexpired five-year term on the Board of Parks and Recreation Board, which will expire December 31st,
Mr. President.
2025. Yes.
Make a motion to appoint Mark Merdinger to serve on the Parks and Recreation Board. The unexpired 5-year term on the Parks and Recreation Board to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close?
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations for this position?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart,
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler,
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. Our next position is on our Planning Commission. This is a 4-year term, expires on December 31st, 2026. We have one position.
President, make a motion to reappoint Angelo Capuzzi to serve on the Planning Commission for a 4-year term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close nominations?
Second.
I have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations for this position?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Mr. Capuzzi.
Commissioner Cavender,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart,
Mr. Capuzzi.
Commissioner Wexler,
Mr. Capuzzi?
Commissioner Trombetta,
Mr. Capuzzi.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. Capuzzi. Our next position is to,
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Dr. Graham Lee to serve on the RHM Sewer Authority for a 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2027.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second to serve on the RHM Sewer Authority. Any other nominations?
Motion to close?
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart, Commissioner Wexler,
Dr. Lee?
Commissioner Trombetta,
Dr. Lee.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. Our next appointment are individual ward appointments for the Senior Citizens Advisory Council, which is a 2-year term. And Commissioner Gondik.
I appoint Carla Rogers.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
I'll reappoint Christine McLaughlin.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Margaret Lang.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Peggy Murr.
Commissioner Cavender.
Jan O'Rourke.
The 6th Ward will postpone this till next week. Commissioner Quinn.
I will reappoint Diane Ormadia.
Commissioner Hart.
Reappoint Rita Waters.
And Commissioner Wexler.
Reappoint Mr. Scott Sokolowitz.
Thank you all. Next is the Shade Tree Commission. We have 2 spots on the Shade Tree Commission. The first one is to serve for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to reappoint Doreen Saar to serve on the Shade Tree Commission for a 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations?
Motion to close.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender,
Doreen Sar.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart,
Ms. Sar.
Commissioner Wexler,
Ms. Sar.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Ms. Sar.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes. Next on our agenda, the Vacancy Committee, a one-year term.
There's two.
Another shade tree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm right here. Yes, there is one more Shade Tree Commission position, a 5-year term expiring on December 31st, 2027.
Mr. President, motion to appoint Felicia Hurwitz to serve on the Shade Tree Commission for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other nominations for this position?
Motion to close.
I have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart,
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler,
Ms. Horowitz.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Ms. Hurwitz.
Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Hurwitz? Our next item on the agenda is the Vacancy Committee. It's a one-year term, expires December 31st, 2023.
Yes, I would like to reappoint Ed McGargy to serve on the zoning board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st, 2027.
Connor, we're doing vacancy.
Vacancy.
Oh, I
Committee.
skipped that. Okay, sorry.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mike Parada to serve on the Vacancy Committee for a 1-year term to expire December 31st, 2023.
Second.
I'm sorry, I sneezed through yours, Mr. Quinn. Who was the first nominee?
No, because I went I went to zoning.
Oh, okay. All right.
I thought you
We're
were
all
just trying
anxious, aren't we? All
Motion to close.
right, so back to Vacancy Committee. Before us is a nomination for Mike Parada and a second. Do we have any other nominations for Vacancy Committee?
Motion to close nomination.
Second.
We have a motion to close in a second. All in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Berman?
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart,
Yes.
Commissioner Wexler,
Mr. Barata.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Mr. Parada.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Now come.
Okay, let's try this
So
again.
let me introduce it. So next we have an appointment to the Zoning Hearing Board for a 5-year term. This term will expire on December 31st, 2027. Commissioner Quinn, the floor is yours.
Oh, thanks. I would like to reappoint Ed McGargy to serve on the zoning board for a 5-year term to expire on December 31st or 2027.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for Mr. McGargy. Do we have any other nomination?
I would like to nominate Mr. Andrew Janos to serve.
Second.
So I have a motion, I have a nomination and a second for Andrew Janos. Does anyone have any other nominations?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint John Waters to serve on the Zoning Hearing Board for a 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2027.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for John Waters, nominated for the Zoning Hearing Board. Do we have any other nominations?
Make a motion to close nominations.
Second.
We have a motion to close and a second. All in favor of closing nominations to Zoning Hearing Board?
Aye.
Before us, Mr. Berman, is a appointment or reappointment for the Zoning Hearing Board. The choices are Mr. McGargy, Mr. Janos, or Mr. Waters. You call the roll.
Commissioner Gondik,
Mr. McGargy.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Mr. Janos.
Commissioner McCluskey,
Mr. McGargy.
Commissioner Cavender,
Mr. Janos.
Commissioner Quinn,
Ed McGargy.
Commissioner Hart,
Mr. McGargy.
Commissioner Wexler,
Mr. McGargy.
Commissioner Trombetta,
Mr. Waters.
Commissioner Holmes.
Mr. McGargy. And Mr. McGargy?
Yeah, he does, yes.
Excellent. Okay. Before we adjourn, I just want to thank everybody for their previous service, everybody who volunteered and interviewed with us to be considered for this year, and everybody willing to and is about to embark on another year or several years of service for the township. It's greatly appreciated. Once again, we had difficult choices to make, and an extraordinary cast of volunteers and civic-minded people to choose from. And we appreciate greatly everybody's interest in serving with the township, and encourage anybody who was not appointed to a board this time to please reapply. We have openings that take place during the year, and of course, as this meeting is obvious, we have openings every year as positions, as different offices expire. So with that said, I thank everybody. I thank my colleagues for the privilege of serving you again as your president, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned.